Oh. He went to your shirt off, but he has your shirt off.
All right, guys, we'll get
Mike, I
started.
got you that intel already.
All right, great. I appreciate it.
I'm going to put it in the chat box.
Okay. Thank you.
The woman that gets things done. I like you, Eileen.
Did I see Mila Lee there?
Not yet.
I'm here.
Hey,
Oh,
Mila.
she is here. She snuck in on me.
This is, we can't. All
right, well, folks, Molly, could you mute everybody and not me?
Absolutely.
Let me know when that's done. You can hear me?
I muted myself. Yes, you're good.
All right, good. Okay, well, good morning, folks. Welcome to the final event of the year. This is actually my favorite event of the year. We not only get to see what the schedule is for the next year, for the Q1, but we also get to recognize some outstanding companies and individuals. So I really think that this last year was the best year in the OpExChange. I know I said that last year as well, but I think I really believe it's true. That's about continuous improvement. We've had some extraordinary plant visits, and we've covered so many facets of our operations. I was talking with some of the folks of the SMEP recently about my role in all of this. And I told them that I probably have the best manufacturing related job in South Carolina. I get to help facilitate some of the best companies in South Carolina, sharing what they're doing to improve not only their operations, but also the lives of their employees and their communities. So here's a quick look at the agenda of what I'm going to cover today. This session will not last the whole hour, I promise. It's probably about 30 minutes. So we'll look first at the OpExChange growth over 2022 and the last few years, and then I'll give a summary of the 2022 events and the scheduled activity coming up for Q1. I'll also review the OpExChange Advisory Board. I know that a lot of you don't necessarily know about the Advisory Board, so I'll introduce the Advisory Board to you and its members and roles. We'll then present the engagement awards for the year, and I'll also share with you a new tool that BOMAG is providing for us. By the way, is Brady on? Is Brady there?
Don't
I don't think so, Mike.
I was just looking. I don't see him.
Okay, well, I hope he joins us. Before you leave, please make sure that you complete a 2-minute survey. It's there's a link. Have you put the link in the window, Molly?
I'll do that right now.
All right. So Molly's putting a link in the window. Towards the end of the event, please complete that 2-minute survey because I do utilize that feedback. So before we get started, I just wanted to highlight the type of companies that we have in the OpExChange. So last November at the South Carolina Manufacturing Conference and Expo in Greenville, the annual South Carolina Manufacturing Excellence Awards were presented. So I didn't know it, but when we were presenting it, I was just tremendously proud that nearly every category of awards was won by an OpExChange member. So the Transformational Operational Excellence Award was won by C-Level Systems and Liberty. The Emerging Manufacturer of the Year was won by B540 in Little River. Keon North America won the Innovator of the Year Award. Sargent Metal and Anderson won the Outreach Award. And 3D Systems in Rock Hill won one of the Smart Move South Carolina Expansion Awards. So they pretty much cleaned house. I mean, it was just OpExChange members winning almost every award. So I was really proud. So that's the type of companies that you're collaborating with in the OpExChange. These are winners, right? And it's that's why the OpExChange is so great. Also, if you look at the spread on the map, it's nearly every region of the state was represented. So the OpExChange is growing, and it's growing rapidly. In 2022, we added 34 new member sites so far. I'm still expecting to see a couple more in December. So it's interesting to look at the spread of where they are across South Carolina. So it's spreading, it's growing, and the word is getting out about what the OpExChange is and the huge benefits that a company gets by participating in it. I just wanted to give you a snapshot. This is back in 2.5 years ago, July of 2020. And at that point, there were 107 member companies. The upstate region was the highest, represented with 54 companies. And that's where the Lean Alliance, the predecessor to the OpExChange, actually began, was in the upstate. The Midlands followed with 21 companies and with smaller representation in the PD, Lower Country, and Central Savannah River area, and the Metrolina area. So fast forward to this month, December of 2022, the OpExChange has seen a net growth of 64%. All regions have grown substantially, but the most notable is that PD in the Lower Country, which grew by 183%. So a lot of credit for that increase is due to help from both the South Carolina Department of Commerce and the South Carolina Manufacturing Extension Partnership, the SCMEP. Again, this is primarily just about getting the word out to these counties and the companies in those counties about what the OpExChange is and how it can help them. So this is a graph of the OpExChange and Lean Alliance membership by year over the last 12 years. And what I really think is noteworthy is that the timing of that 64% growth in the last 2 years. Much of this occurred during the peak of the COVID era, when a lot of companies weren't even allowing plant visits. But the OpExChange adapted and improved during this time to include virtual plant report outs. And we grew. Companies joined us, even though they didn't go to as many plant visits at that point. So we also created during this time the online portal, which is a major game changer in how companies are getting value from the OpExChange. So the OpExChange board has asked me to conduct between 6 and 9 events each quarter for a maximum of 36 in a calendar year. So this year we had 33 total events, including plant visits, SCMEP workshops, and virtual sessions. So of those 33 events, there were 14 member company report outs. 12 of those were in person at plants and 2 were virtual. Now you can see by the category and the focus area that there's a good mixture of Industry 4.0, lean manufacturing, leadership, lean topics, as well as other operational improvement stories. So one of the things that the board and I thought was important was to get feedback from what you all thought about what was being presented and shared. So one of the things I implemented was a survey after every event to capture the information from you. So one of the things I asked in the survey is, did you find value in the event? So as you can see from the results, 97% said they did find high value in the event. I also implemented a net promoter question, which basically captures if the participants would recommend OpExChange to other companies. So note that a net promoter score of above 80% is considered world-class. The OpExChange net promoter score as of December is 95%. So my takeaway here is that the OpExChange members are getting value out of the program and are excited about helping promote it. You also indicated that the number of events is about right. So most participants would like to see more events that feature lean manufacturing and Industry 4.0. Note that most of our events do actually include combination of multiple areas. Sorry. So this is the OpExChange Advisory Board. It's made up of 14 voting members along with me, and I'm not a voting member. The purpose of this board is to help guide the direction of the OpExChange and ensure that it is continuing to provide value for the members. I meet with this group at least once per quarter, sometimes more. And as most of you know, we grew that group. We added 3 additional board members in October. So the bulk of the members are made up of representatives from actual OpExChange member companies. So as you can see from the map on the right, the members are spread out throughout the state in each of the regions. That's actually part of the bylaws, that there's at least one board member from each of the 5 regions. One thing I'd like you all to realize is that these people are your representatives for your region. You should feel free to reach out to them as well as to me if you have any suggestions for the OpExChange. 2 of the members are always from the South Carolina Manufacturing Extension Partnership, who is the sponsor of the OpExChange program. We also, a couple of years ago, we added these additional South Carolina advocate positions, board members, and their purpose is to help our program to propagate even larger across South Carolina, utilizing their large networks to help have a bigger impact on the manufacturing base within South Carolina. I did want to point out that there are 3 board member openings coming in 2023. One of those is in the Metrolina region, and then there are 2 that will be available from any region. You'll be seeing an email to this effect sometime early in 2023. Note that when the board is reviewing these applications, there's heavy weight played on participation from the applicant in the OpExChange and the member's company in both live events and in the portal. So I did want to touch briefly on the online portal. So as I mentioned, much of our growth in the last 2 years can be attributed to our online portal, which is it's a repository of our past events. So when I'm showing this to prospective members, I'm able to get my point across, and it frequently wins them over and they join. However, I don't know that all of our existing members really know what it is or even that it exists. It's such a huge resource that I encourage you, if you haven't used it, take a look at it. It's such a great resource to your team. I had one manufacturer just this last week that was interested in Industry 4.0 and predictive analytics, and they were able to research past events over the last 2 years, and the documentation and recordings on the portal helped them to do some initial analysis to guide them on their next steps. So that is what the OpExChange is all about, that building on the learning and experiences from our peers. So previously, this occurred only if you happened to attend an event or if you visited a plant separately. So now all of your team members can benefit from the plant visits, even if they did not attend. So note that the portal, there's really no limit to the number of employees that your site is allowed to have access to it. However, as it's growing and it's becoming more popular, we're going to have to disable any accounts that appear inactive. So if you have a team member that hasn't accessed the site in a few months, their account could be temporarily disabled. There's a finite number of seats that are allowed to have without incurring additional costs. So if you do find that your account is disabled, don't sweat it. Just send me a note and we'll re-enable it. So there are now 63 documented events that going back as far as December of 2019. They covered a gamut of topics, including lean manufacturing, Industry 4.0, leadership, and several operational successes. All of them have executive summaries. Several have pictures and even videos from plant visits. There are multiple templates and documents available that companies provided during their plant visits. You can also grab the PowerPoints from their presentations. So probably one of the most important benefits on the portal is that member directory. It's a listing of all the member companies, 175 now, and a contact at each. So that's particularly helpful if you're going to do any deeper dive benchmarking and want to reach out to somebody. That Excel spreadsheet is downloadable on the portal. So in addition to documenting the plant visits on the portal, I also write a public-facing article on each plant visit. It covers the topics presented by the hosting company, and it's always positive. So I publish this in 2 electronic magazines, South Carolina Manufacturing and SC Biz News. I also share it on both LinkedIn and Facebook. South Carolina Manufacturing actually has dedicated a page on their magazine for the OpExChange. There's I actually get companies that are interested in hosting primarily because of the positive press they're getting from the e-magazines. I've had some tell me that they've seen sales result from this, as well as positive press for recruiting at their facilities. So check it out on SouthCarolinaManufacturing.com if you want to see some of those. So what does 2023 look like? I now have 10 booked events scheduled for Q1. There's 6 plant visits, 3 4-hour workshops, and 1 virtual session on value-added engineering. We were even able to get Boeing to agree to host a plant tour at their facility in North Charleston in February. So that'll be a great highlight as well. 2 of the January sessions are already available for registration, and they're starting to fill up already. So before we get to present the awards, I'd like to announce a change to the naming of one of the awards. So one of the biggest elements of the OpExChange is the collaborate portion. This is the foundation of the OpExChange, sharing with your peers and what you've learned and receiving input from others. So when each of your companies joined the OpExChange, they agreed to sharing with others. Well, we're going to be renaming the Collaboration Award after someone most of us know who exemplifies collaboration. So that person is Missy Gieselmann. I'll tell you a little bit about Missy here in the next slide, but from this point forward, this award will be affectionately referred to as the Gieselmann. So let me tell you why we're honoring Missy with this distinction. So Missy's been a member of the OpExChange and Lead Alliance for 18 years. She recently retired from Wyckoff Color Corporation in Fort Mill after working there for 32 years. She was one of the founding members of the Metrolina chapter in 2004. She's been a strong advocate of the OpExChange and Lead Alliance for all of these years, attending and hosting events, as well as participating in steering committees and teams. So while she was at Wyckoff, she was involved in quality and safety, leading ISO implementation in the 1990s, and eventually becoming the corporate director of continual improvement, where she led a team that managed quality and continuous improvement in nearly 30 Wyckoff plants, manufacturing locations across the US, Canada, Brazil, and the UK. So Missy was elected to the OpExChange Advisory Board, and I've been working with her for about 2 years in this role. Those who have worked with Missy know that she's loyal, compassionate, and unwavering when she believes in something. And she's unafraid to challenge the status quo. She's been a tremendous help in the growth of the OpExChange over the last 2 years. So Missy and her husband Randy are here with us today. She wanted me to tell you all that she has ALS and has difficulty speaking, but she did want me to share this with you. It is such an honor to have this award named after me. I consider it dear to my heart, and I love the OpExChange. It has meant so much to me over 18 years of involvement, including the Lean Alliance, and I have learned many things from other companies. I'm very appreciative. So Missy, I want to thank you for all you've done for the OpExChange and for South Carolina, and your legacy continues with the Gieselmann. So now let's get on to the recognitions and the awards. So I mentioned there are 4 awards that we're going to be presenting: the Company Engagement Award, the Gieselmann, the Employee Development Award, and the Individual Engagement Award. So to determine the most engaged in company of the year, we evaluated by each of the top 10 in each of the 4 quarters. So in Q4, this is the list of the top 10 most engaged companies: FN America in Columbia, BOMAG in Ridgeway, Starbucks Roasting Plant in Gaston, Graphic Packaging International in Prosperity, Allied Air Enterprises in Orangeburg, Harsco Rail in Columbia, Savannah River Nuclear Solutions in Aiken, NIFCO KTW in Toccoa, Georgia, Dish Network in Spartanburg, and Transaxle Manufacturing of America in Rock Hill. So new to the top 10 list were NIFCO KTW and Transaxle Manufacturing. Now, the way that I measure engagement is by participation in the events and activity on the online portal. For the live events, the largest factor is whether your company is represented at the event, not just the total number of people present from your company. So here are the top 10 for each quarter of the year. There are 26 total companies that made it into the top 10, and 10 of those were on the list for more than 1 quarter. So I'm pleased to share that these are the top 10 most engaged companies for the year. Now, these are in alphabetical order because I don't want to reveal yet who the winner is. But they are Allied Air Enterprises in Orangeburg, BOMAG in Ridgeway, Dish Network in Spartanburg, First Quality in Anderson, FN America in Columbia, Graphic Packaging International in Prosperity, Harsco Rail in West Columbia, Savannah River Nuclear Solutions in Aiken, Starbucks Roasting Plant in Gaston, and the CIFA Group in Lexington. So again, if you attended events during the year, none of these will be strangers to you. But as you know, there can only be one winner. I'd like to congratulate BOMAG and Ridgeway for winning the Most Engaged Company of the Year award. They were the only company to be in the top 10 for each of the 4 quarters. They had associates present in 15 total events during the year. They were a very close contender for the Gieselmann and Employee Development Award. They also had a terrific plant visit, and they hosted in May. That was on their strategic deployment that prompted some additional collaboration discussions and events or visits. Their director, Brady Umberger, was personally active and also participated on the OpExChange board. Brady also wanted me to share this with you. This is a template that he developed to create a standardized ways for team members to bring back ideas from plant visits. So I'll put a copy of this on the portal so you can download this. You can customize it how you want for your own teams, but it's a great way to standardized way to get feedback. And as Brady put it, so it's not just a nice field trip. They're coming back with something. So again, congratulations to BOMAG for being the most engaged company in 2022. I'll be sending you this beautiful plaque that you can display in your lobby. So the next award is the Employee Development Award, and this goes to the company that best utilizes the OpExChange in the development of their employees. So I've been using this company as an example to both existing OpExChange companies and to prospective ones of a group that is getting real value and return on investment from the OpExChange. In the last year, they have had 14 different partners participate in 12 events. Multiple levels of employees have participated, including the site director, managers, supervisors, and leads. They are frequently pushing me on getting them information about upcoming events and how many people they can squeeze into an event. I love this activity. So congratulations to Starbucks Roasting Plant in Gaston, South Carolina. I'll be shipping you this beautiful plaque later this week. They also don't like it when they see Dunkin' Donuts at an event. So there were 5 nominations for the Gieselmann. The nominations came from OpExChange members that participated in some collaboration events and conversations with these companies. I summarized these recommendations and I asked the OpExChange board to vote on the winner for the year. This was a pretty close vote, but there was a winner. I'd like to congratulate Dantherm Cooling in Spartanburg for winning the Gieselmann in 2022. During the year, I received several requests for benchmarking with a company that has really good visual manufacturing in their plant. Dantherm Cooling has one of the best implementations of a visual cool system that I've seen. Kevin Lamford and his team there have never turned down a visit to share their turnaround story and what they've implemented there. During this year, they've had 8 plant visits, and these visits aren't short visits. They're a deep dive and they last several hours. They also hosted a visit with Spartanburg Methodist College students, sharing with them project management, personal Kanban, and manufacturing as a career. They're also a huge promoter of the OpExChange by letting other companies know how to participate. Note that they also won the Collaborator of the Year award in 2020. So congratulations to the Dantherm team, and thank you for your collaborative participation this year. I'll be hand delivering this to you, Kevin.
Hopefully you'll be bringing lunch.
No. So now for the final award. Our final award goes to the individual that exhibited the most engagement in 2022. There are a lot of people that were super engaged this year. As you can see from this list, they come from many different companies and manufacturing industries across the state. Some of them are from companies that have been with the OpExChange for as many as 14 years, and some just joined recently. I use the same methodology of event activity and portal usage for selecting this winner. So our most engaged individual in 2022 is Andrew Klein with Autokiniton in Fountain Inn. That was previously Tower International. So Andrew participated in 9 live events during the year. He also received the #1 placement for activity in both Q1 and Q2. He was very active in the portal, completing 14 total events. He joined the OpExChange board in October, and he's currently completing his Lean Six Sigma training with the SCMP. So one of the things that you'll see when attending an event with Andrew is that he's not just attending the event, he is a participant. He asks questions, offers suggestions, and helps make the event engaging and fun for the entire group. So Andrew, congratulations on receiving this award. I'll personally be delivering this trophy to you sometime in the next couple of weeks.
Thank you, I appreciate it. I just want to let everyone know, not only have I personally grown, but professionally, but the OpExChange really is what it is because of all of its members and what everyone does to contribute to it. So thank you for that.
Thank you, Andrew. So I'd like to say a final congratulations and thank you to BOMAG, Dantherm Cooling, the Starbucks Roasting Plant, and Andrew Klein. There were a lot of great companies and participants this year, but your participation and engagement really stood out. And I'd like to give a final thank you to all the OpExChange members. Just like Andrew said, they are what make this group so great. So as I tell all our prospective members, this group is a fraternal group. Some of us have been working together for many years. I've personally been a member for about 15 years. The collaboration and sharing that we've done has helped us improve our own operations and bottom line. To more importantly, these improvements have helped our employees in our plants, our regional areas, and our county economic situation in the community. So I'd also like to thank the SCMAPA for sponsoring this group for 20 years and supporting it with the help of their staff, process improvement coaches, and regional vice presidents. I'm also grateful that they allowed me the privilege of leading this group. I've got the best job in South Carolina. I know I've pushed them in the last few years, and I'm grateful for their patience and support. Finally, I would like to thank the South Carolina Department of Commerce for helping us promote this over the past 2 years. So along with the SCMAP, they were able to get me in front of roundtables of manufacturers in these counties across the state so I could share with them what this program is and what it has to offer. So thank you to the Department of Commerce for their help there. So I'm going to remind you, please complete that 2-minute survey, and I will open it up now. If anybody has any questions or anything they'd like to add, feel free to do so.
Hey, Mike, it's Kevin.
Hey, Kevin.
Just wanted to say thank you to the OpExChange board and OpExChange member groups, and also to Missy. What an honor to accept this award that bears your name. It was great getting to know you, and thank you so much. And we certainly enjoy hosting, and our doors are open to anyone. Anytime you want to come, just hit us up. So thank you so much.
Thank you, Kevin. I've really enjoyed the Dantherm team. They're a lot of fun.
We try, right? We love to have a good time here.
Yep.
Thank you for the award.
Thank you, Missy.
I wasn't that once.
Anybody
Hey,
else?
Mike, Mike, this is Steve Larson from BOMAG. Again, I'd like to thank the OpExChange on the behalf of BOMAG. We think it's an excellent tool, and we do have some changes internally here, and we're hoping that we can move the OpExChange focus primarily from our operations group, but also into the front office now.
Oh, that's great.
We have some people up there already excited about some of the A5 and things like that. So
Great.
Thank you very much again from BOMAG.
Thank you, Steve. Hey, Eddie, you're on mute.
Okay. Mike, I just wanted to take a second to thank you for all of your hard work coordinating these events, putting everything together. This is a top-notch deal. You won't find anything like this in any other state. This is awesome, and I sing OpExChange's praises every chance I get, because as a plant manager, I did not take advantage of OpExChange, and in my current role with Commerce, being exposed to OpExChange, I see what a huge benefit it is. So I preach OpExChange whenever I'm in a company.
That's great, Eddie. Thank you.
Thanks, Eddie. Yeah, well said. Very true. Thanks, Eddie.
Yep. Anybody else want to say anything? All right. Oh, so Diana, you had a question. You asked if the Boeing, if it was, what'd you ask? I'm sorry, I missed it.
The tour, I think it's in February in Charleston. Are the sign up already open for that one?
No, I try to do these like 6 weeks before. So
Okay.
6 weeks before. So it'll be coming up soon. It'll be coming up soon, but it's not open yet. What happens is that I think I'm allowed 40 people for that tour, and it will go like that. So it's
I know.
so I will be sending out an email, but be watching the portal as well. It says on the portal when it's opening up.
Okay. Thank you.
Any other questions?
Okay. Thanks, Mike.
All right,
Yep,
thank
thanks,
you.
Mike.
I'd like
Great
to,
job again this year.
but thank you, Ron. I just wanted to say again, I want to wish each of you, if I don't see you again this year, a blessed and peaceful holiday season, and I will see you in January. Take care.
Thanks,
Take care.
everyone.
Have a good day.
You too.